Hello friends, in this video we are going to study about Birsha Munda. Birsha was born in the mid of 1870s. The son of a poor father, he grew up around the forest of Bahanda, grazing sheep, playing the flute and dancing in the local akhada. Akhada is a place where dancing, military exercise took place. Forced by poverty, his father had to move from place to place looking for work. As an adolescent, Birsha heard tales of the Munda uprising of the past and saw the Sardars, leaders of the community, urging the people to revolt. They talked of a golden age when the Mundas had been free of the oppression of Dikus, and said there would be a time when the ancestral right of the community would be restored. They saw themselves as the descendants of the original settlers of the region, fighting for their land. Mulk ki larai, fighting for their land, reminding people of the need to win back their kingdom. Birsha went to the local missionary schools and listened to the sermons of missionaries. There too, he heard it said that it was possible for the Mundas to attain the kingdom of heaven and regain their lost rights. This would be possible if they became good Christians and gave up their bad practices. Later, Birsha also spent some time in the company of a prominent Vaishnav preacher. Vaishnav, worshippers of Lord Vishnu. He wore the sacred thread and began to value the importance of purity and piety. Birsha was deeply influenced by many of the ideas he came in touch with in his growing of years. His movement was aimed at reforming tribal society. He urged the Mundas to give up drinking liquor, clean their village, and stop believing in witchcraft and sorcery. But we must remember that Birsha also turned against missionaries and Hindu landlords. He saw them as outsiders. He saw them as outside forces that were running the Munda way of life. In 1895, Birsha urged his followers to recover their glorious past. He talked a golden age in the past and Satyayug, the age of truth, when Mundas lived a good, planted trees and orchards, practiced cultivation to earn their living. They did not kill their brethren and relatives. They lived honestly. Birsha also wanted people to once again work on their land, settle down and cultivate their fields. What worried British officials most was the political aim of the Birsha movement, for it wanted to drive out missionaries, moneylenders, Hindu landlords and the government and set up a Munda Raj with Birsha at its head. The movement identified all these forces as the cause of the misery the Mundas were suffering. The land policies of the British were destroying their traditional land system. Hindu landlords and moneylenders were taking over their land, and missionaries were criticizing their traditional culture. As the movement spread, the British officials decided to act. They arrested Birsha in 1895, convicted him on charges of rioting, and jailed him for 2 years. When Birsha was released in 1897, he began touring the villages to gather support. He used traditional symbols and languages to rouse people, urging them to destroy Ravana, Dikus and the Europeans, and establish a kingdom under his leadership. Birsa's followers began targeting the symbols of Diku and European power. They attacked police stations and churches and raided the property of moneylenders and zamindars. They raised the white flag as symbol of Birsa Raj. In 1900, Birsa died of cholera, and the movement faded out. However, the movement was significant in at least two ways. First, it forced the colonial government to introduce laws so that the land of the tribals could not be easily taken over by the Kus. Second, it showed once again that the tribal people expressed their anger against colonial rule. They did this in their own specific way, inventing their own rituals and symbols of struggle.